Guess what? We got new cities added to my stand-up tour. We got a brand new hour of stand-up material. I mean, this is brand spanking new, motherfucker. Okay? All you got to do to get the Tiki Wiki is go to chrissdcomedy.com, my website that Veneti is going to change. But that's all you got to do. And I want to announce the new dates right here for you. But first, I want to tell you that Charlotte, Asheville, and Charleston this weekend are all sold out. Sorry. December 31st, Huntington, New York, New Year's Eve. First show sold out. Second show has got like 10 tickets left. So if you want to make New Year's Eve plans and you're in Long Island, do it. New Orleans, January 12th. Dallas, Texas, January 13th, sold out. January 14th. Houston, also almost sold out. January 26th to the 28th. These are the newbies. These are the new ones. January 26th to the 28th, Phoenix, Arizona. February 22nd, 2023, Vancouver, British Columbia. March 28th to the 29th, West Palm Beach, Florida. And then March 31st, the Fontainebleau in Miami Beach. Code Chrissy. Tickets are on sale, or you might not need the code by now, but that's a big one, Miami Beach. And then April 12th, Austin, Texas. May 5th, Buffalo, New York. A little reschedule from this past winter. So thank you so much, chrissdcomedy.com. Also, the merch. Get a new sweatshirt. Get a Chrissy Chaos sweatshirt. If you come into the New Year's Eve show, we got brand new fucking merch. We got brand new merch. It's beautiful. It's up there. We're not going to sell it any other place but the New Year's Eve show. So get it. And if you don't like it, then you can wipe up your jizz off your feet with it. ChristyComedy.com for Tiki Wikis, Florida, Vancouver, Austin, Texas, a.k.a. Austin, Texas. All those other cities that I told you about. I'm high. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Super Maximum Chrissy Chaos Podcast. You guys will know what that means soon. With me is Mike Cannon.
Hello.
My head writer.
Yeah, I gave him head while I wrote.
Yes, my head writer. Mike will be with us. Now, listen, I apologize for the episode being a couple of days late. You know me. I was being Chrissy TV shows. I posted a picture of me in high heels.
Taken by me. I feel like that was a good angle too.
Dude,
it made your legs look slender and long.
That picture too. I've gotten a lot of text from like guys being like, "You got a nice ass." It just propped up my ass.
Dude, heels immediately make everybody's ass into a shelf.
Do you think there's a chance men like in our lifetime, like wearing high heels will be fashionable and like it'll be like a, I mean, like
Harry Styles is about to wear it to the Golden Globes. Like that shit 100%. It's all mix and matching though, because as soon as like men find out how truly uncomfortable they are, they'll be like, oh, this has always sucked.
Dude, the heels that I wore for that picture though, they were comfy, but I think that I probably...
Wait a minute, why are you wearing heels on your show?
Because listen, I can't give any of the bits away.
Yeah.
You'll find out.
Chris is like every other black comedian where they have to dress him as a woman to disrespect him before they build him up.
Yeah. That's what it was. It was funny, dude, because I did a TV show. It's coming out in March. I think the announcement will be made soon. They did. It was great, but there was a couple of times where they wanted to put me in outfits, and I was just like, not doing it.
Yeah, I actually, dude, I have so much respect for you in your just strength in those moments. Yeah. Because like for me with TV, I'm still at the place where I'm like, dude, if you want me to shove a lit candle in my asshole while taking it in the mouth from my father, I'll do it on a camera. And you're just like, you want me to wear something with glitter? Fuck off.
What'd you pass on?
I'm not doing some fucking bit. I don't even know what.
Like you in a diaper kind of thing?
Yeah, me like dressed up as a dancer. Which listen, I put on the headpiece. At least I put on the bow.
Yeah,
which you'll see. But yeah, some things I think and it was interesting. Yesterday we filmed 3 episodes of the TV show that will be coming out very soon.
Yeah.
And Mike Cannon was on multiple episodes and it was dope. But I did have at the end, and I think it was good. I think I lasted a long time. But at the very end, I did have a mini meltdown. Yeah. Where I just kind of snapped at myself and the audience and everyone talking in my ear. And then I immediately apologized. Yeah. And then it was interesting because after the show, the top guy who's done 1 million TV shows was like, dude, your composure, your positive energy, that's what made this great. And I was like, yeah, but what if I snapped at the end? And he said to me, he goes, it's amazing. He goes, I've been doing this a long time. Very rarely does the host only snap once.
Yeah.
He was like, that was pretty remarkable that it was the last segment of the last day.
And you also, like, you basically simulated for a week straight what it's like to have full-blown schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Because you had an earpiece in while you're delivering jokes, while you're reading prompter, while you're riffing, while you're also bringing in panelists, while you're listening to them, reacting to them. You have somebody in your ear being like, make sure you check back the camera. Oh, maybe try this bad joke that I just thought of, and I'm definitely not in comedy. Maybe this, and you're just like, I saw you at one point literally like just your ear.
And then the TV audience who gets paid to be there just doesn't laugh at half the shit I say. It's like, if you knew how impossible my job was, you fucking, because these people think that they can do it.
Of course
That's what it is. They were sitting there be like, I could do this show. No, you couldn't, you fucking scum.
Dude, they were on heroin, dude.
Yeah, they are. They're disgusting.
James Mattern. I've never seen anything like that.
James Mad Dog Mattern opened up the show, every show. He warmed up the audience, and he had to do probably about 4 hours worth of comedy through when it was all said and done.
Cheerleading as well. So it's not just comedy. He had to go back up. He had to establish a rapport immediately, which, like, if you lose them, if they don't like you, if they decide that, you're then stuck with them for fucking 4 hours.
4 hours, yeah.
And so he had to make them like him, even if they didn't, come back up, get in their good graces, continue a conversation from before, do jokes, pump up the show, say we got you, we love you, coffee, pizza, all this shit. I mean, that is like a true workout.
Yeah.
It was 5 hours of crowd work. And then I witnessed, she was like 22. She, at one point, responded to his crowd work saying, I wish you would shut up and give us lunch.
Is that what she said?
But by the way, I don't think we can show any of this stuff yet. We can only show it. I mean, if you want to see behind-the-scenes footage that me and Pimp illegally took, go to patreon.com/Chrissy Comedy. I'm dead serious. But this you can't. But I mean, whatever. We'll post a picture soon of the set
it'll all
and
be
stuff.
up there.
It'll all be up
soon.
there. It'll be great.
But it was official, man. It was cool to see you guys work together in that capacity. That was cool.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where the podcast will always be, I love having the independent stuff and being able to have like direct access to the fans, and the podcasting will always be what I do. But it is nice to have like a different look and to have like, because even though it was difficult, it was really difficult. It is nice to just kind of have like, there's a million people working on the show. So it's like, really, at the end of the day, it's like, just read what's in the prompter, improv a joke or two, and that's your fucking job.
Well, and that's that's the best part about having something like this, right? Where this podcast is home base. Then all the other opportunities are like, you can get your tentacles into other areas, and hopefully, listen, you might not pick up 100% of the people that watch, but a lot of the people are going to be like, oh, I like this. Let's see what else he's got. And then that actually grows this community and is a beneficiary of not only this podcast, but then your whole career. So it's important to diversify what the fuck you're doing out there, just so, you have more things to get people.
It's important to diversify in life. You guys need to have more cultural diversity in your life.
As evidenced by the panels.
Yes. Yeah, that panel, what you'll see on that panel, what you'll notice is every single flavor of human beings is represented.
And if you don't, if it's just a couple white guys, just know that a lot of people said no.
Yeah. I mean, it was funny how, like, it did get to the point, though, where there was just, like, one or two of the panels was just like, listen, there's 4 white men, deal with it. There's just 4 white guys sitting here, and it's just, that's what it is, shut up. We're going to have to just get through the fucking show.
Hey, if it's a retro show and you want a really deep dive, that's
Seriously?
the world we used to live in.
Yeah, no blacks, no women.
Dude,
imagine I said that. Obviously, I'm kidding. Imagine I said that on the show. Imagine I said that on the show as a joke in 2022 as like, making it about a 70s, 80s joke, like, they would I bet you I would have got arrested.
Can I do you one better? Because this is how much talking you did in the last week. You did make that joke. I 100%. Chris is like, this is the 80s. That's how we roll.
Yeah.
Pull your dick out.
Yeah, that's what I said. Sexual assault didn't exist yet.
I remember at one point he screamed DeSantis and the whole crowd was like,
Ron DeSantis.
Well, because what's interesting about paid, and I hope people find this interesting, but about like those crowds they are actors. Like the majority of them are actors, and they're looking for day filler shit to make money while they can audition and all that stuff. So they're all like, on some level, they have a dream in their head that they will be picked from the crowd, put on panel, and allowed to showcase their talents.
Dude, one of the people in the crowd asked James Mattern how they could be a panelist if there was a season 2. And it's like, are you out of your fucking... People are so delusional about how this business works. It's like, you know, like even my own mom will be like, you should do SNL. It's like, are you a stupid asshole, Mom? What are people even thinking with this show? Like, no, that's not the way any of this works.
Guys.
I mean, the guy who was driving me home, who drove me home 2 days ago from Stanford, was like asking me all these questions about comedy and how he gets into he can get into comedy and maybe I could come on the set. It's like, no, dickhead, you drive me from here to my house and then you forget where my fucking address was.
So he wrote it down and saved it.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I got to be honest with you. Listen. Here, it's tough. Sometimes I never in a million years, I don't like to ever say that I do comedy. If you say, like every time I check into like a hotel or like rent a car, they're always like, what are you in town from? I was like, just work stuff. If they ask me a follow-up question, I usually say I'm in construction. That's just what I say. Because I don't want to be like, because
with you that makes sense. If I'm like, I'm in construction, they're like, fucking beat it, soft hands.
Get out of here. Yeah, but because if you say you're in comedy, two things are going to happen. One, they're going to be like, oh, cool, tell me a joke, which you want to kill yourself and then kill their family in front of them. Two, the second thing they'll do is be like, oh, do you do comedy? Oh, what's your name? I've never heard of you. So either way, it's like, I don't care if you know me or not. I genuinely, whatever you want to do. Know me, don't know me. Babe, I only care about the Puerto Ricans here at this show. But I made the mistake of, we had just filmed 2 shows, fucking exhausted, like tired, got to drive all the way back to Staten Island from Stanford, to wake up at 6 a.m. the next day to come right back to do 3 episodes, going over the shit for the next day. Like, you really get tired. And the driver who picked me up, most of them are very professional. And the driver, he goes, what's going on in there? Are you an actor or something? And I was like, no, it's just a TV show. And he was like, oh, cool. He was like, so what do you do for the show? And I was like, I'm a part of it. He was like, but like what? And I just, just because I was like,
you had nothing in your brain to offer.
I was just like, I'm a comedian, I'm the host. And he goes, really? What's your name? Ugh. And then I go, oh my God. I audibly said, I went, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. Because we were still in Stanford. We had an hour and a half. I was like, I can't. Like, it was this close to being like, if this is what it's going to be, I actually can't deal with it. I'll pay for an Uber home and then tell the show that they got to pay. I'll tell the show that it was twice as much as it actually costs. Just for the inconvenience. But then he goes, then while he's driving, like we're driving on the highway, he's got YouTube open. He's like, how do you spell your last name? And he's trying to watch my videos on the phone. And I had to be like, dude, don't watch it while you're driving me. He was like, that'd be funny if I got into a car accident while watching your video. And I was just like, I fucking hate this guy.
Yeah.
And then, because it is one of those things where it's like, I would know, even if I was never in entertainment at all, I would know, just if you're driving, don't talk to them. Say hi. Be cordial, be pleasure, but it's like, I wouldn't, even when I was a physical therapist, I would, if you came in, I would say, hey, what's up, Mike? Knee. And then while I'm working on you, just, if you talk, we talk. I'm here to service your knee.
Do you know what? Like, it also, like, when it comes to comedy, and maybe you'll agree with this, but it doesn't feel like genuine interest. It feels like combative interest.
Yeah.
To where, like, you're a comic, they're like, oh, yeah? Like it's an immediate step to you where you're just like, I don't know, man. I just tell jokes. It is a job like anything else, and I understand that it seems kind of glitzy and glamoury if you watch enough vlogs. But it's like, dude, this is just a gig. That is what it is.
Then the guy goes, I forgot this. And I said in the middle of it when he was, and I said, I don't know whoever you know that does comedy. He was like, how did you know that I knew someone that did comedy? I was like, everybody knows someone who does comedy now, and I don't know who they are. And then he was like, oh, do you know Russell Peters? I was like, oh, yeah, I do. I want to open for him.
Can you get him on my pod?
Dude, you got edibles?
Oh, yeah, I have so many.
Your little fucking... your little satchel.
So, dude,
Look at that little bag.
this also, like, I had kind of a reckoning with myself today because, you know, I smoke a fair amount of pot, but I didn't.
Yeah, and it's the reason why we need to speak to you. This is an intervention. Bring out crew.
Well, this is. He just flipped it. He's like, Daddy, you forgot my birthday. Yeah. I'm like, oh. So here's a lot of edibles.
Okay. Nice.
And then I
Here we
also.
go. Oh, wow.
Here's some too. This is some. This is some.
Okay.
This was just all in like my safe.
What's the one that I took on your show when I did your edible show? Do you remember which one we took?
Yeah, I do. That was.
Is it in here?
It is. Yeah.
I like that one. Give me that one because that one made me feel fucking numb.
That was a high dose for you too, and so that'll be out at some point. I still haven't even looked at the fucking footage because we've been doing so much shit. But dude, Chris became. Were you there? No. He became like such a sweetie Petey on stage where he was like, you guys know? Like his voice like got low, like high and soft, and just like I don't know, like you were very, very just open and loving.
I never do comedy. I never do comedy about my stepson. All of a sudden, I had 10 minutes on my stepson, and Yamanika was like, "You may," because the point of the show was you take the edible and riff, and I swear to God, I riff. But Yamanika thought I did some kind of bit about my pre-planned bit about my stepson, and I didn't.
This is like 50 milligrams. You want less than that?
Yeah, I can't do that. Give me 10. Okay. Is this 10? Yeah.
He's like, yeah, fraction.
I took the other 35. I might take some more too. You want some?
Yeah. Of course I want some.
I also found that this is like when I realized that I had like
that real?
that
Can I
I
have a
forgot
cookie,
about
V?
weed. Yeah, is this okay? It's legal in New York, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Are they
dude.
now? This is Venetia.
I just found like a half ounce of weed.
There it is.
in my-
Venetia. This is Venetia, who's wearing Andre the Giant's pants.
Thank you.
It's got 2 cookies for. These are homemade. Did you bake these?
Yeah.
Dude, those are the same pants Dylan Klebold wore during Columbine.
Well,
I'm glad you recognize
They're
it.
the exact pants.
wow. These are good, Venetia.
Thank you.
What did you put in them? Did you put anything like Greek in them?
Tzatziki?
Yeah.
No, just, a little bit of garlic and just a little secret recipe.
What made you want to bake cookies?
I don't know. I always bake and I just love baking.
Yeah.
Don't I bring cookies all the time to you guys? I do.
thought it was your grandma.
Yeah, it was. But this is something I made. I wanted to.
You want a 100
make
milligram
today
brownie?
special. Holidays are coming up.
Wow.
Look at this.
Look at this. Wednesday, the show Wednesday on Netflix surpasses Dahmer on all-time Netflix ranking. That show Wednesday about Wednesday Addams, the Addams Family, is the best show I've ever seen. I've actually watched it twice.
No shit.
I've watched it twice all the way through.
That's the most stunning thing I've ever heard out of your
Christ,
mouth.
I watched it once all the way through with Delilah when we all had the flu, and then I watched it again when she had the flu, but I felt better. I watched it again without her. Wednesday?
Did you see that though? It said over 1 billion hours streamed of Wednesday and Dahmer.
Holy shit.
And I thought Wednesday
It
surpassed
just
Dahmer.
beat it. It just beat it, but that means Dahmer's right
Dahmer,
there.
I can't get into.
1 billion
I'm
hours.
done with the serial killer making it sad. I'm done.
You don't like a gay guy that drills a wound into somebody's head and then fucks it?
I like that, and I like them on the panel for my show. but I don't. I got to be honest too. I mean, is she underage? The girl who
No.
plays Wednesday, because she is like unbelievable.
Yeah.
She jumped. I
Cut
think,
this whole segment if she is.
I think she jumped like 10 million Instagram followers. So she jumps the craziest amount of followers on Instagram in a long time.
Well,
She wasn't famous before this?
no, she's a Disney star. I've seen her in TV shows.
She not
Jenna Ortega. Yep.
Jumping 10 million is a crazy amount.
She's 20. All right.
Could you imagine you're literally born in Coachella? That's what
Wow.
it says. She's from Coachella.
Holy shit.
That's how fucking.
She was born with stickers on her nipples. Glitter fairy makeup.
Who's her parent? Who's Natalie Ortega? She just. Sounds
She's
hot.
probably hot, yeah.
She's gotta be smoking, and I think she might be famous too. Is Natalie Ortega? Who's Natalie?
It sounds like Natalie Imbruglia.
It's real hot.
Her mom looks like a hippie white version of her.
Her mom looks like someone who's from Coachella.
Yeah. Yeah, that's somebody who went to the festival once and then just set up shop.
Right. Thanks to today's sponsor, Fansly. Fansly has the adult content you crave by creators you already know and plenty that you don't. I'm going to get on Fansly. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp because they're asking me to say it, but I'm not. I'm just telling you that I'm sponsored by BetterHelp, and I love them, and I've been using them. And Joe DeRosa was using them and doing great, and now he's not using them, and look what's happening to him. So, unfortunately, life doesn't come with a user's manual. Your dildos do and everything else, but not life. There's no user manual. The transition, fun word, into how BetterHelp online therapy is basically the next best thing is what it's all about. And if you are transitioning, by the way, BetterHelp can help with that too. The therapy part of it. Therapists are trained to help you figure out the cause of challenging emotions and learn productive coping skills, which we all need, which I've needed. You all need to cope. Life is about coping. I cope myself to sleep every night. I'm coded with cope. BetterHelp has connected over 3 million people with licensed therapists. It's convenient and accessible anywhere, and it's 100% online. Even if you're an asshole, you can still use BetterHelp and talk to a therapist that'll be matched up to what your needs are. Even Mike Feeney can be on BetterHelp.
Super benefit.
Yes. So right now, all you have to go to is betterhelp.com/chaos. That's betterhelp.com/chaos, and you are going to get 10% off your first month, and it's going to be great. We use it. Most of my comic friends use it. Mike uses it. He's sitting next to me.
Yeah, I'm texting now.
Yeah, he's texting. So we use it. We love it. Mental health is very important, along with using whatever pronouns you feel suit you. And whatever it is. But BetterHelp is as important as that. BetterHelp and your mental health is as important as the war, as any war. We're fighting for freedom. Happy 4th of July from BetterHelp. BetterHelp.com/chaos.
I'm sorry I'm chewing on the pod. I know it's disgusting, but I haven't eaten since yesterday at 3 p.m. when I had a scone.
That's your fast break right there? Nice.
You know what's making me laugh so hard? You two happily eating Crustables.
Dude, those
you guys were
Crustables?
so happy about
By
Crustables.
the way, James Madden, who was in the trailer the whole time, is definitely allergic to peanut butter, and I ate a Crustable peanut butter and jelly every day right in his face.
I think I gave him a hug with Chunky smeared on my cheek. Oh my God. They are unbelievable. I had never had those before and only seen them in like a dusty bodega aisle where you're like, oh, this is from 83.
Dude, I've never seen these Uncrustables chocolate flavored hazelnut spread sandwich. Holy shit, they got like Nutella ones.
Oh my God.
No, wait, hold on. DeRosa's going to get mad. We're doing his show.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
You know what's great? Put those in the freezer.
Well, did I tell you about my new podcast called Taste Friends? It's really cool. It's me and somebody of higher ilk debating food.
Yeah, it's you and Mike Feeney, but Mike Feeney does the whole show with a mask on.
Yeah, so it actually draws in listeners.
Dude, do you know that I just saw this on the way here? The Russia just developed a nuke that can reach mainland U.S. So I can't wait,
Did
dude.
you see their announcement too? The only way to win the war is with a nuke.
No,
they're not wrong.
Putin just said that. Yeah. I mean, honestly, you know what, Vlad? If you're watching this, why don't you fucking stop talking shit and just do it, pussy?
That's Chris holding the gun barrel to his head, being like, shoot,
fucking
bitch.
do it! That's it. I love that I'm finally getting a chance at a TV show, and I'm begging the Russia to nuke Ukraine, and I'm yelling, no blacks or women on my set.
It's going to go. It has the chance to go for 1 million episodes, create generational wealth for your family.
Vice is live watching this podcast right now with their mouths on the floor. They're like, who picked this guy?
You know,
dude, you know what? I feel like I feel like, honestly, if it all comes down to it, they literally, if they want to not have me back for season 2 or not even air me season 1, they could just CGI Hassan Minaj's face on my body because I got skinny enough.
Do a deep fake.
Yeah, seriously, do a deep fake. He's actually way skinny. Hassan, if you're listening, you need to fatten up.
Yeah. He needs to Kumail it up a bit, just get a little juiced, get some powerlifting in.
Hassan, that crowd went fucking nuts for Hassan.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's got that thing where you sit next to him and you feel famous.
Right.
You know what I mean? mean? Like there's like a warm glow of I'm better than you, and he doesn't have that air about him. It's just pure his energy.
Yeah. Him and Nimesh have the same air, except Hassan sells out 6 at Radio City, and Nimesh is on TikTok. No, get it, dude. Nimesh is fucking another guy. Nimesh crushed. Dude, we had so many Indian people on.
Yeah,
we had Nimesh and Hassan.
For the 80s, that is groundbreaking.
Literally, and they were awesome. Honestly, everybody. There were 2 people who stunk on that panel.
Yeah,
there it is, and here's one of them coming.
And we'll talk about who stinks on Patreon. We'll reveal who stunk.
Oh yeah, we're gonna tell you who stunk it up on the panel at patreon.com/Christy Comedy.
That's a good idea.
Now, did you guys see the mysterious fire of the NYPD evidence compound?
No.
And mysteriously, everything burned down yesterday.
Wow.
So I'm thinking somebody stole some Bitcoin or stole something.
Yeah, was there a huge coke bust recently or something?
I mean, constantly with the ghost guns and the fentanyl, uptown. So who knows, dude? Yesterday there was like a 9-alarm fire. Like every firefighter was trying to put this thing out. Yeah.
I did not hear that. But wait, can we pull up the nuke that can hit the U.S.? Because I want to see if this is true or this is fake
what part
news.
of the U.S.?
Yeah, I want to see
that's
if this
headed
is just
towards California?
Yeah, because I want to see if it can hit the East Coast. What geographical part of the U.S. it can hit? Because I want to move there.
Well, I always thought, did you ever get that feeling when like terror attacks were on high alert and like people were, see something, say something? It was just real, like shit could go down. I always wanted to be sitting right next to the pressure cooker instead of like on the other side of the train.
You don't want to get radiation poisoning and then slowly die over 20 years. It's like evaporate me immediately.
Yeah, I
evaporate us.
I don't want to get hit in the thigh and then have my artery slowly bleed out. I want to be absolutely turned into dust.
Here we go. Here the pimp just pulled up the U.S. nuclear targets. Maine? They would hit Maine, not New York?
I think it's probably a nuclear facility that would take out New York.
In other words, they'd go for...
You're nuking a nuke.
Yeah, but Indian Point is like the big one that they always had to... like, because I grew up right outside the city. Did they talk about Indian Point in your school?
I call it Native American Point.
Well, they always said that's where Lyme disease came from.
I thought Lyme disease came from Lyme, Connecticut.
I don't know. I heard there was deers that were around the nuclear plant, then swam across the water to Connecticut.
Is it deers or deer?
It's deer. It's also nuclear, you two fucking George W.
Because
Bushes.
Pip and I say deers, and then I think also I would say I like genuinely, like this morning I was like, Delilah, did you find clean underwears? And I think that's just growing. I think that's just going to Catholic high schools in Queens.
Oh
yeah, like Pip and I did.
That's almost like Italian.
We're trash.
Underwears.
Yeah.
But where would you nuke?
Where would I nuke in the United States?
Yeah, where would
San
I nuke?
Francisco.
Can I guess? Portland. You're gonna say Portland?
No. I would say I would nuke. I would nuke. Not Portland. Not Florida. Not the Midwest. I think I would nuke. Maybe one of the Dakotas. I would nuke South Dakota because
inconsequential state.
Yeah, I would nuke South Dakota because Mount Rushmore offends me.
It's just 4 white men. It's the patriarchy.
I want to put up I hope that they put up Joe Biden's fucking that guy that's stealing suitcases. Have you seen that guy? That gender neutral guy stealing suitcases. I want him to be on Mount Rushmore. Dude, that guy looks like Jim Norton.
We have to get him on. Can we get him on?
Can you pull him up? Pull up this guy.
There's a guy stealing.
By the way, stole the suitcase, unpacked it, used it for months, and then when they caught her with the suitcase, said, "Oh, it was a mistake."
Yeah. Does she go by her? This person?
I'm not sure of her.
That is a classic.
Gender neutral Biden suitcase stealing.
She went to the airport and stole a designer
gay man
bag
that I support.
And then used it.
I feel so. My target, and I said San Francisco, and it's not because of like any social issues. It's because I want to take out big tech, just once and for all, just absolutely annihilate the hub of all of this shit, so we can get back to just lighting fires with sticks in our backyards.
Yeah. I mean, look at this person. This is, listen, first of all, that's what I look like on multiple episodes of my TV show. Sam Brinton, which they gender neutral name, so you can't.
Dude, he looks like bald Pete Davidson.
He does look like bald Pete Davidson. Wow.
He's got those supple fucking not sure what race he is lips.
And yeah, Sam, stop playing pretend like you're loosely grabbing a microphone. What do I have to attach balls to it for you to grab it like you fucking mean it?
I just want to meet the person who got their shit stolen. But like, what do you do? Do you get money from them? What do you ask for?
Yeah, like what? Imagine you're like, hey, you got your suitcase stolen. Who did it? Joe Biden's gender-neutral press secretary.
Dude, he looks like that guy that looks like Matt Damon.
Right.
What's that actor's name? That's in fucking Friday Night Lights. He's also in. He's married to Kirsten Dunst.
Oh wow, I don't.
I'm forget. But this guy this person looks like what a human looks like in the future. Yeah. That's a futuristic. Like this person. This is what the future is gonna like. My daughter's gonna grow up and be like, this is my partner. And then I'm gonna be like,
that's Matt Damon in Eurotrip singing Scotty Doesn't Know. That's fucking bonkers, dude.
Oh, and then the other person next to him is Magic Johnson's son.
That's
Magic Johnson's son. No, I swear to God, that person is mad. I keep just saying that person. And then Grant Wall, the journalist who died of a pulmonary embolism in Qatar, sadly, looks like he was stealing luggage in an airport in San Francisco. No, it's sad that he died because his brother gave this you told us about like on Instagram like. You killed my brother, and it was like sad and emotional. But then, like the wife confirmed it was a pulmonary embolism that was bubbling up for quite some time.
Is this my conspiracy shit though? That I still don't buy this. That I feel like the United States government probably told them to shut their fucking mouths while they do some investigation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Stop setting off a potential international incident with your hysterics and just allow us to give this guy an autopsy.
They got their body. They got Grant Wall's body back from Qatar to the United States in like record time.
Yeah.
In like 14 hours, the body was back, I believe, in New York. Because maybe it's that.
I'm surprised he wasn't turned into garlic naan. Like, how wasn't that guy just immediately destroyed?
And then another journalist in Qatar died a couple of days later. And then a worker fell off the top of the stadium like in the middle of a game.
I mean, that's just been
exploded
happening.
While Messi was just kicking goals. Nobody cared. Like
in fairness, it was a tribute to Gallagher.
Yeah.
He said R.I.P.
Dude, Morocco versus France. I mean, if fucking Morocco, when this episode comes out, the game will be over already. But dude, if Morocco wins, I mean, that'll be, for number one, first African nation ever to get to the semifinals, of course, and first African nation to get to the finals. But I can't see how Morocco can beat France.
France is like a nasty power where all of their players are like the top players of every league they play in.
Yeah, no, France is the best. And I think France used to own Morocco, right? I think there's like a French influence in Morocco. Yeah.
Wow, this would be like Ireland versus England?
Yeah. It's kind of like, listen, Morocco, you got us far, but your daddy's here. Now you're coming back.
Does your dad watch all this stuff?
My dad is not a soccer guy. He doesn't really know much about it. To be honest with you, I don't know much about it, but the World Cup, it really is like fascinating.
Yeah.
It's the only type of soccer I can get into. I know everyone says, oh, but like watch the La Liga and the Premier League. I know, but I don't want to. I don't want to. I think the uniforms are stupid. I don't want to do it.
But you're a fan of hot guys.
Yeah.
Like it is a sport of hot men.
Yeah. Venetia, who's a real hot piece of ass that you noticed in the World Cup? Anybody that we should be on the lookout for?
Megan Rapinoe.
I don't know. Brazil's team is really hot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I just typed in Brazil, but yeah.
Brazil. I guess you like men with fake butts.
I don't know, and this is probably racist, but I feel like
go in time.
I feel like they smell amazing until they don't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You think they can get stinky quick?
Brazilian men could potentially, like real cologne, probably very fresh pre-game, and then once the game wears on, it smells like pure septic shit.
Yeah, just a nice septic tank shit. Yeah, I know. I mean, these guys, and they take it really freaking seriously. I mean, they cry when they lose.
Oh yeah,
like it's a big deal.
They're really good actors, actually.
Yes,
they are. They just get touched, they just like collapse. I don't know. Neymar's really hot, I think so. Out of everybody on this,
is he?
I'd pipe Neymar. He's not in that. There he is.
There he is crying here. Yeah. They're all pretty gorgeous.
Venetia likes a very metrosexual, dainty kind of guy.
I mean, I bet a lot of women probably like him. I think, though, that he, like, facially is not even in the top 10 of his team.
No. I personally think the hottest guy, I think there's a guy from Argentina. There's a guy, by the way, from Argentina. His last name's McAllister.
Yeah.
I think his name's Kevin McAllister. He plays soccer for Argentina. Dude, did you, by the way, Google Home Alone Kevin McAllister Jigsaw serial killer? There's conspiracies out there that Kevin McAllister's character in Home Alone actually grew up to be Jigsaw, the serial killer in Saw. Have you ever heard?
No, that's great.
Like,
though.
they're saying, like, there's clues in the movie. Yeah. Home Alone's Kevin McAllister grew up to be infamous serial killer, fans reveal. That's what it is. That's why, because everyone's working from home now and they have nothing to do.
That's also a smart thing for, like, Saw to do,
right?
Where they have this, like, they can attach their dog shit franchise to, like, a beloved movie, and just be like, look at these Easter eggs. Look, we're actually, we're connected.
Yeah,
to this
let me
somehow.
see it. Can you go down a little bit? Every year since 2014, Jigsaw's a darker holiday tradition. McAllister became a serial killer. Macaulay Culkin's character grew up to become Jigsaw, John Kramer, the creepy killer from the Saw films. There are a few reasons they said the cherubic, but mischievous McAllister became a sadistic murderer. Crude traps he set up for the wet bandits. No, that doesn't mean you're a serial killer. It means your mom might be a serial killer for leaving you home alone.
And also leaving that many dangerous weapons around the house.
Right.
Like, I just don't have paint cans and a giant metal bar that I can tie to perfect string and swing it from the steps. Let me tell you
something loud and clear.
Yeah.
If I was 8 years old and my mother left me home alone for literally one day and then the house was burglarized, I would be raped immediately.
Yeah.
I would be held down and sodomized by those men that came in and took all my mommy's stuff, and I wouldn't do one goddamn thing about it, and I'd keep my mouth shut like I have every day since 1993. You know who you are.
I think I would, like, offer myself up out of, like, defense. Just be like, take what you want, including this. Like, it's just like, whatever, dude. I have no ability to fight back.
I think Chris would fall right into his own trap.
Yeah.
Paint can right in the face.
Yeah, just get right hit. By the way, this day in history, 1799, at the age of 67, President George Washington died of throat cancer. He was eating that pussy.
Wow. Catherine Zeta-Jones was alive back then?
Yeah, dude. It's but I feel like, we're ending the year here. I've yet to decide if I'm doing a podcast next week. No, I'll do it. I'll do it. No, we're ending the year here, and I feel like this is the first year in a long time. It feels like in 10 years where I'm like, I feel better as a person, and I've had a lot of positive change in my life from December 31st of last year to December 31st. If I mean, it's only December, 15th, so we'll see if I even make it to December 31st. But I do feel, I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, wow, this is a year that, like, because I would always try to fake like I've seen growth.
Yeah.
But I never really did.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, I feel like I'm just, things are okay.
Speaking just personally, career, or all of the above?
Personally, career, everything. And I get, because of being Catholic, it's making me feel like 2023 is going to be horrific.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally going to be, it's like you go into you end
I hate that.
Year,
That is a Catholic thing, right?
and you can't escape it. It's like, well, what is going to, like, what bad is going to happen? And it is, because that's why I don't push my kids to go to church. And, Jasmine can't go to church. And
not on Staten Island, at least.
Yeah, no, dude. Every single one of my neighbors on my block still thinks Jasmine's Italian.
She's fucking Sicilian.
Hey, look at her.
Even in the winter, she's got a tan.
I say Jerry's her Italian grandfather. So
Jerry kind of looks like Hispanic George Washington.
he does. Jerry is my founding father and mother. So Jerry, what was
you talk about your
Catholic
year.
stuff. Is you know what I think it is? I think it's like, when you break down Catholicism, they make it like where your time here on earth, like, if you fuck up, you're going to get placed in an afterlife, heaven, hell, purgatory, where other religions are like, hey, you die, you go into the ground. Where
Right.
our religion is like,
This is an audition for eternity.
yes, like so it makes you feel like it gives you this guilt, and it's constantly like, your mom being like, why didn't you go to church on Sunday? If you don't go to church on Sunday, it's like your whole life's gonna fall apart. Don't eat meat on Fridays. It's all these things, and it's like bad, when it's like, no, you can just live. I finally kind of got my spiritual relationship with God better from a priest who I know. He's like a guy that was a little younger than me, became a priest. And I was telling him about this, and he was like, all of that is like an old school way of being a Catholic.
Yeah.
He goes, you would create your own relationship with God, and that's what religion is. Whatever spirituality means to you is like, come on Sundays if you can. We'd like you to be there every week, and and also donate. But
the heavy onus on the donate.
He was like, do not think that you're going to confession and all. Like, just be a human being and have a relationship with God.
Well, and that's what I've done through constant. This sounds very queefy, but like spiritual work. Even mushrooms, edibles, all that stuff. It has taken, and I'm still not out of it, but it's taken a lot to crack me out of that Irish Catholic bullshit, that cynical way of looking at things. And like, it's like built on a lie where it's like, or at least mine was, where it's like, no, it's about hope and it's about goodness. But meanwhile, it's all about control. It's all about keeping your behavior between the two lines, and for you to basically just be a good little soldier and follow every fucking order that anybody has to give you, or at least that was my upbringing. So with my finding God, I feel the same way, where I've come to sort of a spiritual maturity. It has absolutely nothing to do with the Catholic Church, and I can't even I can't even bring myself to look at the church, because I think it's such a horseshit organization built on fucking pedophilia, which this is nothing new, but that is so deeply ingrained
this is the first time we're hearing
the roots. It's so ingrained where like even when my buddy's like, my buddy just signed his son up to be an altar boy, and I'm like, what are you, gift wrapping him for a pedophile? Like, have you not read a fucking article in 10 years?
But doesn't it feel like the original social media?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's the same
That's
difference.
why I've stepped out of Catholicism and I've joined Boko Haram in Nigeria. Dude, do you see Boko Haram? How fucking brutal they are?
No.
Dude, Boko Haram are the biggest... Google Boko Haram. They are the biggest pieces of shit on the fucking planet. They are like raping and killing Nigerian women and children, and like the news is not covering it. These guys are like way fucking worse than ISIS and worse than the Nazis.
Weren't they declitting women?
They're doing all that.
They were what?
Clitting.
Oh, I thought you said cleating.
Yeah, it's horrible, these people, and I feel like not enough people, like the media is not talking about like how they're, because they're in a
are they sitting on any oil reserves?
Yeah,
Probably not.
That's
Or any poppy fields?
Yeah, but they are really like Boko Haram is like they're not good, man.
I want to even
name this episode Boko Haram.
No.
Boko Harambe. It's just
I did want to go back to your year in review. What do you think the high and low parts of your year were?
Okay, so I think that the low point, I think for me came in March. When just thinking of the year, I think came in March when I've talked about this on the podcast, when we were all in Vegas.
I knew it.
Yeah, we were all in Vegas, and it was just
this was high or low.
This
has
is
to be
low.
low.
This is low.
Okay.
Where it was just a bit where I put on a wig. I put on I put on TT Jerry's wig.
Yep.
I put on TT Jerry's wig. We're in Vegas. I was like fighting with Jasmine, like this whole thing, and then came over to do Andrew Santino was also in Vegas at the same time. So comes over to do a podcast, and we're doing a bit. There was like a scale in the room.
Yeah.
And I got on the scale, and I weighed 251 or 252 pounds.
Yeah.
And it was like in that, like I literally like was like, what are you doing? But like played it off, like just like laughing, having fun, made a bit like I was going to commit suicide.
Go back to that episode to watch Chris's heartbreak live.
Yeah.
He's like Ralph Wiggum, like.
And then I remember like Andrew leaving. I think I had a show that night, and then I remember literally like maybe 2 hours. I remember first of all, right after that, eating like 5,000 calories.
Yeah.
Like just doing it, whatever, because you're still in that mode where you're like, ha ha ha.
No, then
ha,
it's
ha,
like,
ha.
oh, I'm fat. I'll teach you. I'll get fatter.
I'll get fatter. And then I'll just do a bunch of push-ups, and it should burn off the fucking 6 slices of French toast, omelets, bacon, and a milkshake I just had. I'll do push-ups in the bathroom.
Dude, we were at the Win sold-out show. You're about to go up, and you were pouting.
Yeah.
You were upset,
I
man.
literally was in the shower that day, and I started out of nowhere, uncontrollable, hysterical crying. I swear to God, where Jasmine was like, "Are you crying?" I was like, "No, I'm having a seizure. Leave me alone."
And I'm speaking clearly through it.
Yeah, I was like, "I'm doing fentanyl. Leave me the fuck alone." Look at this, fat in Vegas. So I do this bit with 250.6 pounds, and then Jerry goes, "That means you're 245." And yeah, and so
Knew it, dude.
And so I remember there, like, doing all that. That's all me just trying to be like, I'm dead.
It's so funny because you do look visibly heavier, but you still wear it well. Like, you're one of those people that could be 250 that still looks like yourself. Dude, if I sway right now, just from being on set, I have these fucking Mick jowls that just hang underneath my jawline.
Right.
It's fucking awful, man. But you can, at least your body is in proportion and it just displaces everywhere.
Well, you know what? I'm like a woman. It's never my upper body. It's always my lower body.
Really?
It's always my fucking lower legs.
You get a real bowling pin.
Yeah, fucking dummy. But that moment was like, I remember my low where I said, I'm going to make a real change. And then I didn't do a goddamn thing for another 4 months.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
But the ball was rolling. Sometimes that happens in life. It's like, you're like, I have an idea. And then you beat yourself up if a few months have went by and you haven't acted on yet. It's like, dude, it's sometimes it takes really, really slow time to I had the idea to do comedy when I was 21. I didn't get on stage until I was 25.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's like all those years are like you're getting a little close. Like it's all part of it. But that was like that moment was like, oh man.
Can I guess your high point?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do Ireland.
You know, I would say Ireland. No, only because I think in Ireland, I was having a good time. I really, really was having a good time, but we was drinking a lot. It was kind of like, not doing the fasting. We were running from city to city. I loved being there, but I wouldn't say it was my high point because I didn't feel like healthy. My high point, I think, was in I don't know why. In the beginning of September, when I went to San Francisco, I was in San Francisco with Sergio. I remember feeling like I just went for a jog down by the water in San Francisco, like a 3-mile jog, which I would always like fan out at like a mile and a half. But by this, I had been dieting. I had lost a good amount of weight by then, and I remember jogging in San Francisco and then stopping. And I think I posted it, stopping and having this moment where I never even thought about it. Since in 2007, I went with my mother to San Francisco, and just as like a vacation, like me and my mom, like she was like, where do you want to go? Like she had just broken up with a boyfriend. She was like, where do you want to go? And I was like, San Francisco. And she was like, great. And she just like booked it, and we went. And I remember first really having the idea. I remember going on a tour of San Francisco, and they showed us the San Francisco Punchline, I believe it was. And they said, oh, this is where Robin Williams used to perform comedy. I love Robin Williams. And I remember thinking about it, and then us sitting on that bench. We had gotten like a coffee or something, and sitting on that bench looking out towards where the Oakland Bay Bridge, and I was like, I really want to do comedy. Like, I think that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere. And she was like, well, then you should go for it. She was like, you should have, do something to be get educated first, but you should go for it. But I remember like, I really want to do that. And I didn't think about that at all.
Right.
Like not 1 second after that, or at least I didn't think I did. And then when I was jogging, I saw that exact bench with almost like that exact view. And I was like, holy shit, I got all these shows sold out, like I really did it. And then I realized that day was September 11th, 2022. And I was like, this is the best day I've had in a long time, and it's 9/11. Maybe I am the 9/11 guy. But I remember that for some reason, I don't know why, because I was thinking about this last night. This moment, I don't know what it was. I was just like, it made me kind of feel, which I never, ever, really, ever feel this about myself, but it made me feel like proud, not even for accomplishments, just proud that I fucking tried.
Yeah, you went after it.
I just went after it.
You're very lucky in the sense that like your low point was a defined moment, because like mine for the whole year, it's like it's been all over the year, because I've had a really great year, but I've had like a mentally and emotionally trying year where like even through the highs and like really good brand new, I'm doing this highs, I haven't been able to enjoy it as much because of that treacherous thought of like, this is going to fuck up. Right. I'm not here. I'm not there. The compare despair. Like, I'm still not this. Maybe this means it's bullshit. Like all that, like taking the legs out from myself in terms of like accomplishments. So like even the release of my specials have been a low. Yeah. Where it just, and not because of I'm proud of both of them.
God damn it.
Isn't that awful? Isn't that awful to say? But like, I'm so proud of the material. I'm so proud of myself in terms of what I created. But at the same time, I'm so upset at myself that I allowed my poisonous mentality to fucking taint the well and ruin those experiences of putting them out, of being successful, of like growing from it, of all that shit. So like, that's my low. Low is like just a kind of smattering of negativity throughout the year. My high, and there's two of them, but my high is going to Aruba with crew, with my son and Nicole, and being able to get us there with jokes. So my parents, I never flew on a plane with my parents growing up. We never went on vacation. The two vacations.
Your dad was a fugitive.
He just couldn't give his license to the TSA. But I like. The two vacations I remember are Amish country and Wildwood, New Jersey.
Lancaster County, the Amish country.
Yeah, and Mystic, Connecticut. So sorry, three fucking things in the general tri-state area.
Vacationing like just the gayest of gay men.
I
love it. just a gay man's literal dream life is what you lived as a child.
Yeah, and it was weirdly my nightmare. But then like so the ability to get my son on a plane at 2 years old and to then like see his face, see the beach, and like all of that shit, that was like almost. That's emotionally overwhelming for me. Like I have a hard time even like defining what that means to me. And then career-wise, the high probably is like just selling out Zanies on a Wednesday in Chicago.
Which is, like, by the way, so hard to do, to sell out a comedy club of any size on a weekday.
Yeah.
It's because it's all 100% your fans. There's nobody just straggling in there.
Yeah, and that was just it was a cool feeling because I got humbled in Texas. Like Dallas and Fort Worth. Austin was great, sold tickets. Dallas and Fort Worth were like, nah, you lib cuck. Like, we have no interest. You're a Giants fan and you're gay. Beat it.
Get out of here.
Now, how do you guys like readjust going into a new year? Like, what are you trying to think of? Like, how are you going to carry yourself into the new year?
So actually, for the first time, my thoughts on it, I thought about this too on the way home because I was just trying to drown out the guy asking me stupid questions about my act. So I was just in a zone listening. I swear to God, I was rewatching the roast of Rich Voss from 2017, which is one of the best roasts of all time. It's fucking unreal. Watch that roast. It's on YouTube. And so I was listening to that, just looking out the window of downtown Sanford, Connecticut, just thinking like, because I felt. So this year, I felt from just a purely career point of view, I talked about the personal stuff, but career point of view was the best year I've had in this career. From shows to financials to getting the opportunities to doing the type of shows and shit I wanted to do. Like, it was the best. So then I immediately, for a long time, I was like, well, how's 2023 how am I going to beat that? How am I going to beat that? And then I just said to myself, you know what? If this is the best year you're ever going to have, that's fine too. If you have as good of a year in 2023, great. If it's a little less, great. No matter what, it doesn't take away this year. Right. So just be happy about this year and stop thinking about the next year, which I know is over and over and over again. Stay in the present. That's why you have the word now tattooed on your wrist. I understand that's just what it is.
Routinely.
Yeah. But I kind of don't really like, not that I don't care, but I'm like, 2023, whatever it is, it is.
Can I remind you of something that you told me when we were like 3 years into comedy, and I think you just got guy code. And,
I 100% had an STD.
I think we were walking to get you one. And,
oh yeah, I remember that, dude. She's dead. That woman.
What?
I swear to God. I swear to God, that woman is in real life dead. Like, she died like a year ago.
Of a heart problem? Because she was a manatee.
Yes, yeah.
Like a true harbor manatee.
No,
dude.
when somebody told me she died, I was like, oh my God. And I was like, I wish I could have seen her one last time. So 3 years in.
You were saying, because I think you may have done like one season of Guy Code, maybe even two, and it was like kind of exploding.
Yeah.
And you just looked at me and you're like, listen, man, like, if I have to go back to being a physical therapist next year and stop doing comedy, I'll be like, wow, that like 5 years was crazy. Like, you're just like, that was just a crazy ride for 5 years. I can't believe I got to do that. That was awesome. And that instilled also that my fucking mentality constantly tries to push out gratitude, but it instilled a bit of gratitude in me where I'm like, you're right, man. This is wild. This is weird. This is crazy. First of all, that we decided to do this, that we fully committed to do this, and after the commitment have found, a modicum or a semblance of success that we envisioned, it's like, that is unbelievable, the secret shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if it did just fucking die right now, it's like, it didn't mean that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
It just means like, man, whoa, that was crazy.
Yeah, like there's this thing where we all do it. I love that, by the way, I knew something 3 years into it and then forgot it for 10 years until I got on Joe Rogan. And all of a sudden I fucking remember all the gems. Fucking when I'm flying home from his podcast, I'm like, oh, I had the story that could have changed my life and I didn't say it.
I had my machine.
Yeah. Instead, I waited to do it on Hey Babe and Sal wasn't even there. But I feel like we have this thing where we are like, oh, somebody does something great, and then you'll be like, oh, whatever happened to them, or they don't make anything anymore. It's like, so not everybody's like, you actually don't want to be really good at the thing for so long.
Right.
Because it's like, then it's like you start to become like everything you start judging yourself against yourself every fucking year, and it starts to get like debilitating.
That's how you get Madonna. Yeah. That's how you get a 65-year-old fucking albino catfish on Instagram showing her asshole and being like, I'm relevant and all that stuff. And it's like, lady, you don't have to be.
No, yeah.
Fucking enjoy the impact you had on culture.
Yeah, no, I know. So I'm trying to be like, don't compare. That's why I got off social media too. The biggest thing I've taken from these last few months of not being on social media is I haven't once compared me to me.
Yeah.
Like, not in months. And I didn't realize how good that is for your growth. Because when you compare yourself to yourself on social media, you're comparing yourself to the best version you posted of yourself 6 months ago. Yeah. And then you forget that that's not really what you look like, or that's not really the fun you're having. You manufactured that. But the real everyday life, if you're not, I don't even think about yesterday really anymore. I'm just like, it's today now.
Do you do this? Because I've just recently started doing this because, as you go through life, you kind of like, you can foresee what are going to be the good days eventually. Right. You know what I mean? Like something you're going through, like the TV show this past week. There's going to be a time in probably the near future and distant future where I'm going to be like, man, that was fucking awesome. I got to work on a TV show with one of my best friends. Yeah. I was a writer. I got to perform on this thing. Like, but in that moment, I'm trying to tell myself, hey man, you're enjoying this. And it's hard. It's really fucking hard, and you're loving it. Try to remember that too later when you're not just romanticizing it like it's a breakup. Right. And you're just like, no, this is all things. Yeah. It's not just great.
Yeah, and also like that too, like when people, and this is going to bring us, by the way, to, if you go to patreon.com/Chrissy Comedy, we have a new segment up called Chrissy Confessionals, where you write in something that you want advice about, and me, if I'm here alone, I'll do it. But today, me and my guest Mike Hanna will do it. But it brings me to the person. Long story short. No, there was one like relationship one. Remember the one you said, this one's cute? Go to that one. Because there's this one. Okay, yeah. This is from Mr. Bad Example. and Patreon. So again, we encourage the funny names. We don't get enough of them. So do funny names, patreon.com/Chrissy Comedy. I'm not trying to mimic a podcast I used to have.
Dude, it's funny. Every once in a while, we'll get a Patreon sign up where it's like Chrissy with the wet boots or something. And I'm like, oh, this guy hasn't signed in months.
Yeah, Chrissy DeSantis. All right. So this story, again, patreon.com/Chrissy Comedy. We're going to do this every episode. This is from Mr. Bad Example. And then, Mike, you chime in on this, too. He says, Chrissy, my story is wild. I've been double-lifing it for exactly 1 year. Long story short, I hooked up with a Vietnamese honey that's 21 years my junior. And let's be honest, probably a guy.
Yeah.
2019 was crazy. Hookups in Bali, Fiji, Bangkok, and Hanoi, a bunch. Hanoi, that's a big Vietnam. I wish you could transport back in time to 1969 and be in Hanoi.
Get a sweet razor to your cock.
2020 Pandy, it's all video calls. Despite falling out of lust with her, I got her a visa to come to the States. Her sitch ain't the best, trust me. It sucks. I miss my old life. I feel so bad for her. She's pushed all her chips in with me. I feel responsible for her future. She loves me 110%. 4 of my closest friends know about this. My family, who would probably accept it, are still in the dark. I still don't understand what the problem is.
Right.
Because she's Vietnamese and 21 years younger than you. I'm just so fucking embarrassed.
Sounds like she might be 12.
Yeah. He goes, I'm so fucking embarrassed because of the optics. I know I'm a fucking lecherous scum fuck, but I'm really not if you can believe it. I don't know how to fix this. We fight all the time. Plus I'm spending a fortune on English classes. So she's 21 years young.
A stone is banging me out.
Yeah. I think because you're not this guy, Mr. Bad Example. I wish I could help you more, but it feels like you are. Mike's right. You are in a legal situation where you're not. The one thing you're not telling us is how old you are, because she's 21 years your junior, and if you're 32, that's an issue. And I don't know how to break it to your family.
Yeah, man.
But listen, but you can try and see if you're accepted or not.
Well, and also, were you flying them to Bali, Fiji, Bangkok, and Hanoi? Because it sounds like he must have been if he's solely responsible for her financially.
Yeah, but aren't they all near each other? That's like it's like the way they're Spirit Airlines, just flying back and forth. Yeah.
Chicken planes.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, obviously, if this is all like legal and you're like 50 and she's, dude, who cares? I think if you're dating a girl 21 years younger than you, then you're too old to be worrying about what your family would think. Just fucking bring that lady boy in there and be like, Dad, deal with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like it might be maybe a lady boy situation sort of thing, or because if she's just young and legal, it shouldn't be that big of an issue.
Yeah.
It may come across like you have a mail order bride, but if they see your relationship and that she actually cares for you, then it's clearly not a hostage situation.
And also it's like are you upset she's Vietnamese? What is your dad, like some PTSD Vietnam War vet? He might be.
Yeah,
actually.
he might. Yeah, he just fucking puts eye black under his eyes.
Yeah. As soon as a girl walks in, he's like, "You ain't giving me COVID."
How could he ever trust her though? He's a meal ticket.
He is a meal ticket, yeah. And I know what that's like. I just said it for the joke. Jazz, I was just kidding. I said it for the joke. I'm not a meal ticket. I mean,
he was talking about me.
Yeah.
That's how I got the writing job.
Thank you, baby. Thanks for this jacket. You bought it with all the spin money. All right, maybe we cut that part out. Where can they see you, Mike?
The big one, February 25th, New York City, Gramercy Theater. I'm headlining, very excited. That's also one of those moments where I was so excited and then just paralyzed with anxiety about selling the place. It's already more than half sold, so please get tickets. I would love if people from this podcast come out, because they've been coming out a shitload on the road, which is very cool.
Keep supporting Mike.
Yeah, people identifying themselves. I heard you on Chrissy Chaos. I love you. That guy that gave me the Timberland boots.
How great is that guy?
And definitely sniffed my neck for way too long, but hey, you got me boots.
Fuck it, dude. Buy tickets to the Gramercy and bring him another pair of boots.
Yeah, fly from Florida to the ground.
I also want to shout out Fat Mommy on Twitter. Got a Joe DeRosa Stinks tattoo.
Oh, that's excellent.
That's awesome.
Excellent. So New York City, Gramercy Theater, February 25th. Tickets at Mike Cannon Comedy. I'm also going to be in like Phoenix, Seattle. I'm all over the road this winter, so get your tickets all at MikeCannonComedy.com.
And you'll be able to see Mike on my TV show that we will be announcing soon on a network that I can't say, about a topic I can't say, with panelists I can't say, except Hassan Minaj.
Yeah.
All right.
Just know that the network has a good grip.
Yes. And it's run out of land. All right.
And they used to be run by a Proud Boy.
Yeah. And it rhymes with the Patreon listeners' Vietnamese girlfriend's favorite food, rice. See you later.